We're the huge movie fanatics here. I just did like the Vulcan hand wave. We're the huge movie fanatics here doing a review, not for Star Trek, unfortunately, but for Psycho, the original, the OG.
John Carpenter's.
So this is 1960, correct?
I think so.
1960, not to be confused with the 1998 Gus Van Sant
shit.
one. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Maybe we gotta talk about. Maybe we should review that one too.
Yeah, we could. Anyway, so Psycho, 1960. Alfred Hitchcock masterpiece. This is my favorite Hitchcock film. Probably without a doubt.
Probably without.
I mean,
a doubt.
Rear Window is also really good. But this is just absolutely fantastic. Holds up. I actually showed this movie to
someone who'd never seen it before.
Never seen it before. Never knew anything about it.
Who does?
And like, I mean, she'd heard of Psycho and Norman Bates and stuff, and we were watching it, and it turns out there was a couple people who didn't reveal themselves at the time that hadn't seen it or knew the surprise ending, which I'm going to spoil. But if you're watching Bates Motel, you already know. Norman Bates is the mother that is killing everybody in this movie. When we watched it and it came to that ending, like I was watching my friend Susie because I knew how she was going to react, but then all of a sudden, like, a friend who was right here was watching too, and she reacted as well. She was like, "Oh shit!" Like when he comes out in the thing at the end, all like, oh man, like just seeing the reactions of the people was fantastic, and it must have been so great back in the theater, back in the day, like how this would have just effed you up, like like it has one of the greatest twists that unfortunately, much like the "I'm Your Father" thing from Star Wars, it's been ruined with time because everybody knows the ending.
Yeah.
Which is just tragic, but this is so good. So many shots of this are just absolutely iconic, from obviously the shower scene, the stairwell scene, even the opening shot, which is just great.
Which the only thing, in my opinion, good about the Gus Van Sant movie is actually being able to realize Hitchcock's vision of doing one shot.
Yeah. And I love, I think I even have it as a wallpaper on my computer of Anthony Perkins looking through the eye hole thing with the light. It's such a cool shot. This is easy 4 stars. Like, I don't know why we would need to review this, just because it's like, obviously this is going to be a 4-star movie. I've read the book as well, and I think it's one of the cases where I love the movie and the book equally. The book is entirely from Norman's perspective, so but they still have the reveal at the end, like that he's it works better on page than when you hear the weird creepy mom voice in the movie. Like, I think the book works better at revealing that surprise that Norman is the killer, but I like, this is great, absolutely great, top to bottom. So I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Yeah, I probably saw this for the first time in 1990, having just gotten into horror movies, like, I guess late '88. So, but 1990, you're still, there's obviously a whole hell of a lot of horror movies you haven't seen yet, And me and my dad rented it, and I remember, I don't know, just because back then, I mean, the quality version of it was so crappy that, I don't know, it just added to it, this creepiness of it or something. Like, it seemed like the music sometimes was like garbled and whatever, but I don't know what the hell I knew about it, like, before I saw it. If I knew, I can't remember if I knew that Norman was the killer. I can't remember.
I can't remember my reaction to that either.
Yeah. I remember that I thought it was really creepy when he came in the dress and the wig and stuff, and the music going on there was creepy.
Oh, the music, like, we didn't mention.
Didn't even mention the music, which is obviously just one of Bernard Herrmann's, one of many master strokes. And someone there? No?
No.
Keep looking over there.
Oh, there's a guy smoking out there. He's just kind of interesting to watch.
Wow. So, yeah, it is kind of weird to even review this in a way, but we're doing it because we're going to do all 4, maybe even talk a bit about the 98
prequel.
debacle.
The prequel, the remake. So many quills and boots and stuff, I don't know what to call things anymore.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, what the hell is, I kind of feel like maybe my mouth is frozen shut. I kind of feel like, what's there to say about something so...
I have something to offer. Anthony Perkins is just absolutely phenomenal in this movie. The scene that I think is the best scene in the movie.
When the cop goes back to...
No, the best scene. Or wait, is this in the hotel or right
when the
right
cop
outside the?
goes to question him.
Yeah, and then he's just like offers him food and like come on.
Very much
just,
like you're talking right
Yeah,
now.
it's so like so real, so believable, as if there was no script that day.
Oh, like it was
just
just, yeah. No, I'm not a fool. I'm not capable of being made a fool, not even by a woman.
yeah, and like it's just I couldn't believe that scene is so good. And when we were watching, my friend Susie, she like latched on to Norman's character, and she was like, "Oh, he's so sweet and cute," and stuff like that. I'm like just excitedly
Just
watching,
wait.
knowing the ending. And then like, and I guess we'll discuss this in the second one, but there's like a weird subset of people who still find him like they can save him because like my friends. Like I watched it with 4 girls and 2 guys, and like 3 of the 4 girls were like, just totally in love with him, and like even knowing that he's the psycho in the movie, they were like, "Oh, it's okay. He just needs to be loved. Like we can save him."
It's freezing out here, by the way.
It is freezing. The wind has picked up, and now we're about to die. But anyway, so yeah, Norman Bates is just absolutely great in this movie. So.
I don't know if there's anything to say. Obviously, Janet Leigh is at a
I met
prime.
her.
What?
I met Janet Leigh. She wrote an autobiography, and I have my picture with her. I have her autographed book.
A picture which you probably can never dig up. By
It's
the
at
way.
my parents' house. That one's on the like mantle at my parents' house, so I could actually pull that one out next time I go there. But anyway, yes, I've met Janet Leigh, and also the author of the book, Robert Bloch. I've never met him. My dad did though, and has a signed copy of Psycho 2. Terrible book. Never read it. But we'll discuss that when we review Psycho 2 a little bit. So.
I gotta tell you, other than just saying Janet Leigh at kind of like a prime moment of her life, or one of the primes, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like Speechless. I mean, like you say, when he goes back to get interrogated by the guy, and it's just like, this scene is just perfect.
Yeah.
I think in just to save time, we'll leave it at that. 4 stars, obviously. I mean, duh. One of the great movies and one of the first slashers and whatever. And I guess maybe we'll leave it at that. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, and you will not be permitted into the movie after the start of the. They did this huge thing where
I've seen the preview thing.
because of the Janet Leigh's being in it for a very short period of time.
I mean, there's 2 spoilers in it. Like
The trailer?
Like not in the trailer. Like just 2. Like I can imagine as the filmmaker, like there's 2 major spoilers that are going to happen in that movie. One, that the main character is actually not the main character; she's the main victim. And then number 2 being that the killer is actually the subsequent main character that gets introduced. Like those are 2 huge spoilers, and like I can imagine how Hitchcock was like, we don't want anybody to know that. That's the effect of the film is that.
Yeah.
So.
Because that's back in the day when movies just ran, and you could go in, if you wanted to, you could go in and pay and just watch a movie all day. You could sit there all day. And people would go into movies at any time, and then they'd stay until, oh, I remember this is where we came in. And then they'd leave. That actually happens in a movie.
Yeah.
Where actually the Dillinger, I think, was kind of like a movie of the Dillinger. Yeah. So to you people who are like, what the hell, who would go in the middle of a movie? That's what that means. Is in the old days, they just played movies, and you go and come as you know, pay once, you stay all day or whatever. But
my uncle still sort of has that mentality. Like I remember seeing Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back in the theater, and we sat there, and I got up when the movie ended, and he's like, "What are you doing? Why we just watch this again?" And I'm like, "That's not how this works." Like
that's what my mom said. I think when we saw Ghostbusters or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, maybe because I thought I was scared by some of the scary stuff in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, maybe it wasn't so scary. And she's like, well, let's just watch it again. I'm like, even back in 84, I don't think you can do that, Mom.
Yeah.
So that's funny. All right, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you very
boom,
much.
4 stars.
Boom. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you next time.